It's been some time since year one. It was just literally 2 weeks after you were hired as the head coach. Now we're going into year 4 here at the Combine. Are you starting to feel like a veteran when you come to these things now?
Yes, I mean, not just because it hasn't changed much even since, I think it's like my 17th year in the league. The schedule is a little different this year that I'm trying to figure out, and it's a little all over the place. We're creatures of habit, and it's the first time the schedule's changed in 17 years, so that's a little different.
Coming off of that game, obviously there's a grieving process. What were your 72 hours like after this game?
I mean, the 72 hours is more just dealing with other people. You got to deal with a lot of things that ended, contracts with coaches, things like that. So it's a little hectic after that. I mean, you're hurting bad, that's for sure. You got to address some things. You got to watch the game, which is always tough to do the first time. Always got to do that before I go to the press conference and stuff, so I actually answer questions right. But then I got out of here for a couple weeks with my family. That's where the process starts, and you play with them, you do that, then kind of get away, watch a game a little bit, go back. You just go up and down with it, and it just gets better. It gets better the more time that goes, and but it never fully goes away until you can get back there again and win one.
It's like the entire locker room, if you look on social media, what they're saying is that game gives us fuel for 2020. Do you kind of agree with this? Do you see that in this locker room, that game is essentially pushing this team to want to get there again next year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know our players well, and I think a lot of people would say that regardless, but when I hear from our guys, I believe it. They don't even need to say it, and I know that. Our guys really like football. We didn't have a team who was just so excited to be in the league or excited to be noticed. We had guys who were obsessed with getting there the whole year, and that's why I know it hurt our guys so bad. But I also know that's why our guys are recovering, try to get back, because we got a group of guys who don't just play in this league just to be in it. They play in it to be a part of the team, to support their family first and foremost, but to try to get a championship. And I know that's why I came to San Francisco. That's why John did. And I know that's what our owner believes in, and every player we try to get here believes the same.
This year's a little different. It's not waiting to see what the Arizona Cardinals are going to do with that #1 pick, so you find out what you're doing next. Now you're more on the later half. How does that change the way you guys approach the Combine and the draft?
I think we need everyone has a pretty good idea of first-round guys, and when we've been in the top 5 picks, it's a lot easier to narrow down the guys we got to put a lot of time into. But when you're sitting back at 31, you never know what's going to come to you. You got to be ready for anything, and you might be not thinking you're going to go for a certain position because it doesn't make that much sense at the time. But then a guy that you had evaluated as a top 10 pick all of a sudden slides there, and then you got to make that decision versus something that you need. So you got to know everything, and you never know what trades can happen. So you say you're not in the top 10, then all of a sudden you are, and you can't just go, hey, we're in the top 10 and we got an hour to decide something, and let's go cram in a month's worth of tape and interviews. So even though it's completely different, if you sit there and relax too much and don't stress about it, you will be very unprepared. So I still try to act like we could be at any position, and you go through that process, which is the same as it's been for me for 17 years straight, and hopefully it'll work out.
All right, you said it's 17 years. What now as a head coach, and you've done this for now a couple of years here in San Francisco, but what do you like to get most out of being here in Indianapolis?
Mine's just talking to the players. And also there's a number of people, the NFL, we play against each other, but I never see anyone on game day. We got a lot of people who are close within the league, so I love coming out here, catching up with a number of guys I only see once a year. You get to talk ball, share some ideas, and then you just get to see the players that you're drafting, because I don't try to put too much into it, but I also, you don't want to take a guy that you've never met before. So we try to get a lot of that done out here, and when you can't get it all done, so whatever you don't do, we fly a lot in. I think we're allowed 30 of them, and then we go do some visits. So all the stuff, the workouts and everything, that's never changed to me. I don't get much at all out of watching that. I'd much rather, when 40 guys go in a row, it's like an ADD nightmare from the stands. I want it cut up. I want to be in my office. I want it one guy that I'll study for a day and just him. Here, it's just too much going on. So I just go, this is all relationships, personalities, and then you go back and see if the tape matches.
Coach, enjoy the Combine. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. Good seeing you.